if you ever wanted to recreate the Catman. Now you can. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So there's some new ears and even some new antennas that have been added into DC Universe Online thanks to the spring seasonal. So let us take a look. The new ears come as both accessories or as headpieces. I got the accessory version, but the headpiece version is pretty much exactly the same thing. The one distinction is that if you use the version for the headpiece, obviously you're not going to be able to equip two headpieces. So if I was to use the headpiece version, I would not be able to use the Batman mask with the ears. So I went with the accessory first because it is the most practical option of the two. But obviously, if you use the ears as accessories, you're not going to be able to use another accessory. It's sad, but that's how it is. So the first set of ears we'll look at is the cat ears. Here I'm using the Dark Knight cowl, and you can see it kind of covers completely the bat ears that the cowl has. But let's try actually with a headpiece that doesn't have ears already. Let's go for the V slimline. We lose the cowl. I'm so sad now. A little trick, if you want to fake out having a cowl with your character, you could use the high color chest piece and then put the top of the chest piece the color of the cowl you want to have. So there you go, we have some nice cat ears for Catman character. A bit of a trivia, Catman became an evil villain in the DC Universe. Basically they made him into a sort of reverse Batman. But it was actually a character from the Golden Age. Way back in the Golden Age, someone decided, I guess inspired by our friend Batman, someone decided to create a Catman type character. The character was a little bit different, but overall Catman comes from way back in the Golden Age. But the Golden Age version now is a public domain. I tweaked it a bit, so you may have seen me use a Catman character in some of my illustrations. That's where I got the idea from. It's basically the Golden Age Catman that I tweaked just a little bit. Let's remove the head style so that we can see the ears a bit better. Maybe we should remove the hairstyle as well. Let us do that. And one last thing, we can assign two colors to the ears, so let's do that. There's not a lot of accessories that we can change the colors with, but the ears are one of those accessories. Much better. So you can see what the ears look like without any headpiece. And again, as you can see, you can assign two colors to the ears. So there's a color for the outside of the ears and a color for the inside of the ears. And there's also the wolf ears, but I'm not sure exactly what the difference is. The shape is a tiny bit different. But I'm a bit surprised that they made two versions of more or less the same type of ears. Oh well, doesn't really matter. And there is also some rabbit ears. Let's reverse the colors. So if you ever wanted to have some rabbit ears with your character, now you can. There's some skins that already have some ears, but here it gives you an option to be able to get the ears without using some of the skins. So it gives you a bit more freedom if you wanted to use some cat ears, wolf ears, or rabbit ears. And of course, I'm sure a lot of people will want to use the rabbit ears to be able to recreate Arthur from the Tick TV show, or actually I should say from the Tick comics. I never read the comics. I was sort of aware that there was a Tick comics way back when, but I never really read that comics at the time. I watched a couple of episodes of the TV show from the 2000s, and I have to admit, I have no memory of that show. And I guess another thing I should mention is the bee antenna. I already showed the antennas in one of my spring videos, and also you're going to see quite obviously why we needed the antennas as an accessory. So here is the accessory version. But if you use the head style version, as you can see, sadly, you lose your mask. You cannot use a headpiece, seeing how the bee antenna is your headpiece. Although I guess one of the drawbacks is that you cannot assign a material to the accessory. Oh well, you can't have everything, it seems. So if you have the antennas, you can use a whole bunch of slimlines, to recreate our friend the Tick. Yeah, I should use the bigger body size, but sadly my bigger body size character do not have the antennas. Here, because I'm using the metallic material, I had to cheat a bit and use a face mask. But in the TV show, the character did not use a face mask, so you could use a partial slimline instead. And sort of recreate... Oh, there's something weird over the eyes. Ah, there we go. So you could try to recreate the TV version of the character instead of the comic version if you don't want to use a face mask. And if you use a material, the TV version makes more sense than the comic version. And I can already hear you ask, where can we get the ears? Let's take a look. So if you use your warp menu and you go to the spring seasonal, so the styles are the new styles we have in the Giving Tree vendor. It's the same with the Misgiving Tree vendor. If you are an evil villain, you will purchase the styles from the Misgiving Tree. But here we have a hero character, so we have to take a look at the Giving Tree. So you can see at the top, you'll see the various ears. Although, if you watch this video in the future, let's go to the Spring 2022 styles. So you can purchase the styles for 25 seed pods. So you can see the version of the styles that are headpieces, and then you can see the version of the styles that are accessories. Now also there is a feat attached to those ears. The feat is called I'm All Ears. Basically you have to acquire 2 ear style from the Spring 2022. So once you purchase and consume the 2 ear styles, you will get the feat. For the B antenna, it's a style that comes from Spring 2021. So you can see it will cost 12 seed pods, and you can only purchase the head style. But once you do purchase the head style, you do get the accessory version as a gift. There you go, guys. So there's a whole bunch of ear styles that have been added to the spring seasonal vendor. Again, if you want to be able to get those ears, you have to purchase them right now during the spring seasonal. Otherwise, you will have to wait until next year in order to be able to purchase those ears again.